Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. This is Black Mercury here, bringing you a 32 and 8 free-for-all TU Crazy King Slayer I've had for an extremely long time. I've had this gameplay saved up. I only wanted to use it in case I had nothing else to provide for you as a background for my commentary. And since I already brought you a Call of Duty gameplay not too long ago, I wanted to bring you this. But that's not what I want to talk about today, because Robert Bowling, the community manager at Infinity Ward, via a press release, quit yesterday morning, I believe so. He spent a lot of the day yesterday cleaning out his stuff, and a lot of people now want his job and everything. People are speculating that maybe he quit before he got fired, or that's April Fool's joke. But I think he finally got fed up with all the bullshit that Call of Duty is. I'm not saying Call of Duty is a bad game, but it has so much potential to be a great game, yet people, they don't fix their game enough, and a lot of the community has a lot to do with that also. I think Robert Bowling just got sick of carrying a lot and having to put up with all that stuff that the community is arguing about, because he plays Call of Duty himself. I think Jessica Shea in 343 Studios, can take an example, can use Robert Bowling as an example for what they need to do with their game. And that is, the community manager and all of them need to play the game a lot. They need to know what the consumer wants, and when the consumer comes and tweets at you or is on the Halo Waypoint forums, you need to know what they're talking about when they indeed say something that needs to be fixed, like a title update of some kind. Like no bloom, no sprint. That's what the consumer wanted. I bet they played the game enough where they could figure out, hey, this is kind of bad, or this and this, which is a really good idea, and it should be implemented more by a lot of games. And hopefully, because there's no closed beta, that 343 Studios their employees will play the game at least once, 1 or 2 hours a week in their work week, so they know constantly what's going on with their game, not just via the forums and the tweets, because that's not a great way to do it, because there are always outliers of what people want or people say, and some of the arguments and things they want probably won't be legitimate for the most part. Maybe they'll rage quit one time through this and that, and they want it to be fixed, but it's not really a big problem. And so if they play a lot, and they play it with people, as that guy should have died right there, they can, even without the open beta they're having, which they'll probably spend the first month and a half fixing a lot of the bugs, they can easily keep the consumer happy with what they want. Because Modern Warfare 4, whatever new title is going to be named, it may not have the consumer backing that previous Modern Warfare has had in the past, because people just are getting tired of it. And Robert Bowling, I think, is no example. He was an avid Call of Duty player probably before he became community manager, whatever his specific title is at Infinity Ward. And I feel sorry for him, because one thing he really wanted was free flashback maps from Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 4 for the community, and I think the community wanted that too. They didn't want to have to pay for it, because they paid for Call of Duty Elite and all the other maps. And that's what the community manager should do. If he plays a lot and he or she plays the game a lot, they know what they want also in the game. And yes, ultimately it's up to the developers and development team, because they poured their heart and souls for 3 to 4 years into a game, and ultimately it comes down to what they want in their game. As I missed that guy somehow, that's right in the corner of my eye. I don't know how I missed him, probably because he was AFK and didn't appear on my red dot, or on my radar, But one thing I really want to see is, I want to see Jessica Shea and Frank O'Connor and Jonathan Goff and everyone at 343 Studios one time to tweet at people and say, come play with me. I think, if I'm not mistaken, one time, what's her name? Jessica Shea, that I forgot your name for a split second, Jessica, that she tweeted out, if you want to come play with me, here's my gamer tag, I'll be on for a bit, you can come play with me, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was a great idea, and I think that's a great way to get the community involved, and so you can hear people that actually care about the game as they're following you on Twitter, and they have the initiative to respond to you, so you can see what they do, see what they want. You should probably get into a, either a good conversation about Halo, or just a conversation in general that, would be nice to have, so you can contact them again if need be. One thing I think that they can do is Jessica or Jonathan Goff or Frank O'Connor can tweet, hey, I have MLG Pro, Walshy, and Nated with me. Why don't you come play? I think that's a great way to have the MLG backing, and people will start watching the streams because they're playing with the MLG players. It's a good way to get the MLG community involved and to listen to your consumers, which I think would be a great thing for you to do. Like I said, kind of reiterating. And I really like to see that, because I think that would be a great idea, not just for you, but for them. It's a great experience for the consumer, and keeps them going back, because they can say, oh, I can. Guess what? Bob and Billy, who are my best friends, I played with the community manager, and Frank O'Connor, the executive producer for the game, or not executive producer, development manager, I think is his official title, and MLG Pro Walshy. I think that would be great. I think a lot of people would like that, so it's a good thing. That's a thing that you can watch out for. But I think ultimately, what's his name, Robert Bowling and Dave Vonderhart are two excellent examples that 343 Studios and Jessica Shea can look at for a community manager. They're dedicated. They're constantly tweeting at people. I know they look at the Machinima Respawn and Machinima Partner people a lot, because their commentaries get a lot of feedback via likes and comments and favorites, and they get tweeted at a lot, they being the Machinima Respawn, Machinima directors. So they have a little easier time finding and communicating with people that really play the game a lot, and people that have a voice in the community, which we don't necessarily have to a certain extent, but we are a community still, and we still have different ways that we are different, and we need to utilize those. Because we are different from the Call of Duty community in a lot of ways. We are our own different game and community. But I think that would be nice for people to do. People would be like, hey, Jessica, Frank O'Connor, this guy has a good idea. I'll give you, I'm not going to say at Halo videos. I'm just going to throw iFamous Films in there. He has a great video out. Go check out his video. A lot of people responded to his video. Positive feedback. He has some good ideas. If we keep doing that, even though we don't have Machinima partnerships or people on Respawn that have 100,000 to 1 million subscribers with CNanners, we could still make Jessica's job and everyone at 343 Studios easier by letting them know that these people have good ideas. And I have a lot of ideas for Halo 4 that could be easily implemented, and people won't get mad at them, because they're not drastic changes from Halo Reach. They kind of keep the armorability spirit in them. But I'll probably mention that in a later video, because this video is probably not too. I don't want to get started on a topic and not be able to finish it, because I really don't like that. I like getting a topic and ending a topic on the same video, which I've learned from previous videos and mistakes on my part. I don't know what else to say about this, except that I respect Robert Bowling for what he did ultimately, and that is his dedication to the game, everything he did, wanting to have free DLC and having his voice, even though it was different from that of Infinity Ward, shows the mark of a true fan and a true dedicated person to the series, and that is what the community manager needs to be. Whoever replaces Robert Bowling, whoever it may be, Shiny Hunter Zach, almost beats me there. I got kind of lucky. The community manager for the next Infinity Ward game and the rest of Modern Warfare 3, and whoever 343 Studios, whoever will help Jessica Shea with her task, as relaying information and with helping with Frank O'Connor, all of that. They need to be dedicated to the game and have an insight where they've played multiple Halo titles to see what it's like. And I have faith that Jessica has done that. I have faith that she's played more than just Reach, and has played. I'm pretty sure she came from Bungie also. I know a lot of people came from Bungie on the 343 Studios to keep with the Halo, and to keep helping Halo. But guys, this gameplay is coming to an end. So please comment, rate, subscribe on the video. Check out my Twitter, which will be in the description below. And tweet at Frank O'Connor, Jessica Shea, and all of them. Let them know you're doing a good job and what you want to see in Halo 4, all that. Guys, this has been Black Mercury. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are. As always, peace.